Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another video of us covering Salt Mine. It is Salt Mine playoffs over on the EU side, and it's elimination matches. We have TRK versus oKhaliD. oKhaliD just took down a very tough opponent in Batira in order to make it here, and now we have to see if he can make it through TRK, who is falling down from the upper bracket to meet him. So TRK no longer 2 lives throughout the rest of this playoffs, so he's definitely going to be locked in, looking to take down his former teammate. It's a little bit of a grudge match as well. If you guys don't remember, TRK and Ahmad replacing oKhaliD with Nupo to make the Falcons. We have yet to see them, other than Gamers 8, play together, and they had a decent performance in Gamers 8. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of Saudi tournaments that the Falcons have been doing very well in, alongside Nupo, and we don't know what the future is for oKhaliD just yet, and now they have a chance to squash a little bit of the beef here in a 1v1. I mean, I don't think there is much beef between the two, if I'm being honest. I didn't get to watch this one live, but I wouldn't expect any bad blood. I think these guys seem to have good relationships for a long time, and, you know, even if they felt the need to add a new player, I'm sure everybody in the MENA scene respects oKhaliD and Ahmad both as the, you know, initiators of that MENA reach outside of their own region and into the RLCS. But right now, oKhaliD up 1-0, almost 2-0. Wow, that's a great save from TRK. In order to stop that from happening, to swap back to player view here. oKhaliD has seemed to be rising to the occasion, with the occasion being Salt Mine, as he had been falling down in one's performance recently, to a point where I didn't really expect to see him in the playoffs, as I think we talked about before. And now, not only is he in the playoffs, but he's advanced to the next round to face TRK. TRK, of course, a guy who has been touted as #1. I'm not sure TRK has too many big tournament wins to back his #1 status, but he was definitely winning lots of show matches around the time that he was peaking. I'm sure he'd love to show that the times have changed, that oKhaliD is no longer the #1 player, although I think Ross has already proven that. Trying to put oKhaliD even farther down in the rung. It's a full field dribble from his own half for TRK. Able to snag a demo, and couldn't get around this ball to get the dribble going fast enough to capitalize on the demo, but he actually does anyways. You know, not capitalizing with a completely free net. He does have to beat oKhaliD. And because he converts, it all doesn't matter too much. oKhaliD, he's going to get a pretty smooth catch. Interesting save. You know, I don't know if TRK was intentionally looking to slam it on the post. If so, he went a little bit hard, you know, in a way that clearly oKhaliD was going to be first back to. I think we see a lot of players saving intentionally off of their own post in 1v1, but usually with a bit of a softer touch, one that they could follow up for a counterattack and not just absolutely ripping it to bounce back out to midfield. oKhaliD notices a very passive defender in TRK, not likely to be able to prevent a low 50 from converting, so oKhaliD within 1. Kickoff into TRK's half. TRK diving on top of the ball. Wow, so quick. Almost got a goal from it. oKhaliD didn't flip a single time. Seemed like he was just sitting and waiting, praying that TRK couldn't get the shot. That's a nice double jump challenge, and actually steals the ball up the top of oKhaliD's car. So a big risk and a big reward as TRK re-extends the lead. Little standard kickoff. That should be another goal. We saw TRK throwing in the wave dash kickoff, at least earlier in this game. oKhaliD, for the most part, has been sticking to that standard. And back to standard again. TRK just barely not converting on another kickoff goal. Had a very quick read on that ball getting pinched off the sidewall. oKhaliD bounce dribble, not the way he normally likes to set it up. Straight down the center of the field without any real angle at the net, and TRK takes it away. He has just been eating oKhaliD up. oKhaliD hasn't been able to really get solid play out of the midfield. Get a position that he feels he's threatening TRK. TRK just be able to fight out for every one of these balls. This time, he boxes Khaled out of the play and picks up possession and a 7-2 lead. So a minute 17, and TRK certainly looking like he's going to take the early lead against Khaled. Khaled with a decent kickoff when he absolutely needs it. He needs a decent kickoff every single kickoff from here on out, and a little power slide cut. And some flair as Khaled gets a reset for a third, although in reality, if he was truly sweating this game as hard as he possibly could, I think he needed to just boom the ball. I mean, save every second possible for the 4 more goals he needs to get, and maybe get 5 more goals that he needs to get, as he cannot get around the post to get that save. TRK, speed in the midfield has been the difference, whether that's quick plays for kickoffs or even just stealing possessions away from Khaled, even when he does have them. Full field dribble for TRK. I've noticed he likes that single jump that does both starting the dribble and starting his air dribble. A lot of times players will chip it or pop it, come back down, or at the very least, not do it all in one fell swoop like TRK is. But he certainly has this win. And with 20 seconds left to go, these guys just feeling each other out for the sake of the rest of this series. TRK going to try an air dribble bump. Khaled can actually feel good about the fact that he was able to save that. A decent sign moving forward. Low 50 somehow, some way does not go in the net, despite the fact it happened inches off the goal line. TRK will flick in another. It's going to be a 9-3 game 1. A good start for him in the best of 5. We'll head to game 2. Game number 2. The current Falcons player takes the early lead. Khaled looking to bounce back. Immediately wins a kickoff possession. Has been a very volatile kickoff game between these two. Not just lots of early possessions earned, but many of them converted on. Khaled going to try and do so again. He's forced TRK into net with 0. I think he'll be doing his best to get this ball on target with a shot as soon as possible before TRK can reset, but he actually wasn't able to do so. TRK fought for the play and got a reset on the midfield 100. Now Khaled looking for a powerful shot over the top of TRK. Doesn't get it, and a rolling power shot might just be enough. No, Khaled off the post. Very passive defense here from Khaled, and I don't love it. You know, I think he's been letting TRK bring the game to him, and I felt like in that moment, as TRK was starting in the corner, Khaled could afford to challenge him and make him start to think twice. Oh my goodness, that is an impressive own goal. Only the best can get an own goal that clean. It's TRK forcing Khaled to rush to the ball, and he rushed it a bit too much. TRK setting up either a flick or an air dribble bump. It just places it perfectly. Khaled even got a touch on it. Almost slowed it down with a pinch on the crossbar. Not enough. Khaled now hook shot into the bottom right. Another kickoff to keep him in this game. That has been one of the only shining spots for him and what has been a pretty tough game for him in the midfield. Any extended possession, that is quite the flick. TRK converts again. I mean, I'm not sure that his flick game is necessarily what he's known for, what he relies on to play as well as he does in ones. But it's certainly something he's using to great effect here against Khaled. First touch not great on this wall to air dribble, but wow, everything is going TRK's way. The fact that Khaled basically helped him shoot that was not headed in. Comes out the challenge, and he's able to win the 50 directly towards the net. Khaled, boost steal in the back corner. TRK will take to the skies. Falls early. No pogo. No protection of the ball. Means Khaled is able to take it away. And barring a unfortunate spawn for Khaled, he should be getting a goal. I think there's a chance TRK could spawn directly in front of the play. TRK, interesting. Not wanting to take the initial dribble. Baked it, reset. oKhaliD doesn't even punish. oKhaliD just lets him swing back around, start another dribble, and get his flick. I mean, it's just very interesting that he's deciding to do that. It feels like TRK has proven that he needs to be adjusted. You know, he needs his game plan to be changed. Otherwise, he will find his offense. oKhaliD just keeps banking on his defense, his ability to shadow, his ability to react. That could be because of all the success TRK has had in the midfield to start the series, to the point where oKhaliD felt like he couldn't really challenge anymore. Felt like anytime he tried to play the ball early, he was getting it taken from him. Now maybe trying to make a conscious decision to be more passive, not get outplayed early, but he's getting outplayed late. He's getting outplayed everywhere. Finds himself down 7-3. oKhaliD, this dribble going to land far out from the net. TRK actually almost scored off that. oKhaliD just barely able to redirect it. TRK, surprised he's trying to score off this. His setup was clearly over the top of the net, and it's going to take a lot of boost and kill all his momentum. Oh, nice pre-flip into the ball. Goodness, TRK. 8-3 with 1:40. He's given himself some serious cushion. Interesting kickoff. No speed flip. Just front flipping. Trying to show everybody out there that you can play with zero mechanics if you really want. Ooh, missed challenge. As he tried to go to ceiling. So oKhaliD not out of this yet. Getting a conversion on a non-kickoff possession is certainly helpful. oKhaliD, you know, very active in front of his nets, but still very passive defense. He's never attacking the ball. He's just showing some pre-jumps and trying to make it clear to TRK that he's going to be ready. Ball pinch, but no boost to grab. Barring a TRK mistake here, it should just be a TRK possession. Almost even had an angle to shoot. oKhaliD did cut that off. A TRK boost steal. Oh, nice play for oKhaliD. And just the worst possible bounce. One with 12 boost you cannot possibly follow up. Now TRK attacking high. So high he had really no choice but to flip that early. oKhaliD able to get that read. TRK, late reset, stolen over the top. Can he get a counterattack? He was trying to pre-flip into the ball to get a touch towards the blue net, but missed it and had to play it slow instead. But an air dribble and TRK goes flying by. So TRK up 3 goals with 12 seconds. I mean, crazier things have happened, but certainly it's heavily favored to TRK. And with this kickoff going into the orange half, that's just about it. Even if this huge arc goes in, it just takes too much time to get there. So TRK going to go up 2-0 in this best of 5. Winner moves into the final bracket of 4 in best of 7s. And loser has to go to stage 3. Game number 3 between TRK and oKhaliD. TRK so far winning the grudge match up 2-0. oKhaliD's been doing his best to try and figure out how he can beat TRK, what kind of adjustments need to be made, but he certainly hasn't found them yet. I think oKhaliD had a bit of a slow recovery because that wasn't the fastest setup from TRK, yet he still was able to get his goal. Kickoff goal, direct loss for oKhaliD. He has been playing a fairly volatile kickoff strategy, in the sense that he's been trying to just get around the ball and win standard kickoffs. He has not been modifying his kickoff too much, and you know, when oKhaliD was playing at his peak ones game, that was really how the kickoff game was mostly played. It was just adjustments on the standard kickoff, getting around the ball, trying to push it various different ways. TRK showing a little bit more of the more recent meta of just switching up your ways of attacking in order to keep that opponent guessing. This time, a standard kickoff is won by oKhaliD. Ooh, oKhaliD, interesting. Decided not to go for the second 50. The first kickoff set up the ball to be in a position where they are essentially going to have, almost a second kickoff, except for with them attacking the ball at much lower speeds. oKhaliD just decided to bail on it. He just drove past it, and maybe he was hoping TRK would panic and make some kind of soft touch on the ball that would give the ball to oKhaliD, but he stayed ready for it. Now 5-1. I mean, considering the way the series has been going, it's feeling like a really tough position for oKhaliD. He kind of needed to start off his game 3 with a 5-1 lead, not the other way around. But tons of time, and I don't think oKhaliD is the kind of guy to get tilted. He does a decent job of staying in the game, and as much time as he has on the clock, by all means, he could bring it back. TRK not able to get the immediate kickoff goal. oKhaliD does force him to play it faster than he would have liked. And the long shot from TRK off the back wall has no boost. That's a super dive by TRK. And here we go. oKhaliD on his way back. Seemed like he was trying to get a little busty for style, but actually did not make additional contact. Wonder if there's a game pause there. It looked like a little glitch. Might have been a pause in real time. oKhaliD intercepts the air dribble from TRK. Ball is falling awkwardly off the wall up to a position where oKhaliD felt like he couldn't go up the side wall and challenge. So he decided to stay on the ground. oKhaliD going to change the field. Bring the ball to the right side. TRK catching back up. Dives and gets demoed. Oh, that's actually a pretty fancy way to score that. I think oKhaliD had it no matter what, but uses the dash to get it in style. Now he's already brought back the 5-1 lead, but it's almost less about bringing the lead back and about the momentum and the feeling of the game. The way it's been going, oKhaliD just lets TRK drop one in. So I guess I spoke a little bit too soon. He hadn't fully erased the deficit, but certainly a better position. Needs to make up these 2 goals and a couple more games. oKhaliD bumped, has TRK low, probably knows it as well. So tries to get a quick collection on the dribble. TRK got ready and got a nice save. Just reacted to oKhaliD's setup so well. And as he's been doing all series long, really speedy when he needs to be. oKhaliD just kind of caught watching. TRK slots another. It's a kickoff goal. There has been a lot of kickoff goals between these two so far. More than I would expect from a couple guys who have played a lot of ones in their career. I think they know how to limit that as best as possible, but they're both just leaning into it. TRK mistouch. Recovers back in order to not be caught out of position. Strong pinch across his net. Actually was a window where it was probably shootable, but not where oKhaliD was currently positioned. Oh, that was meant to be a save, I'm sure, but he tried to get cheeky with the save. That's what is, you see that a lot as players have started to try and save off their own post to set up counterattacks. That was always the risk, and it was always the reason why you didn't see players doing it before. But everyone has decided now it's the kind of play that you have to be able to make if you want to try and get wins. And to tell you what, oKhaliD wasn't able to make it. He tried. I think he was correct in trying. But he owned gold. Now he's getting down 4. Minute 13. TRK resets. oKhaliD with the early challenge. Actually does enough. Tried to get the ball around TRK. Couldn't do so. Tried to pop it over the top of him. Couldn't quite do so. But gets a good possession nonetheless. That was probably a mistouch from oKhaliD because TRK is recovering and not really in the best of positions. And you certainly want to force the issue and play it sooner rather than later in those situations. And he actually drove back, but he still made it work. So within 3, needed a kickoff win here and got it. But it feels like this has to go through if oKhaliD's going to bring it back. TRK, challenge from the ceiling, works well. Gets the ball all the way to the orange back wall. And that is probably going to be enough. Barring a complete collapse here late. oKhaliD actually should have his 7th goal. But left only 11 seconds to get the next 2. I'm not sure that TRK will allow it. TRK, will he adjust his kickoff at all? No, still standard kickoff. Seems so risky to me, especially from a guy who has been using wave dash kickoffs earlier that are often a lot less volatile. But either way, he's done enough. He has slowed oKhaliD down. oKhaliD, if he had a little bit of boost, maybe could have gotten the goal there. Didn't have any. So it is just a ball hitting the ground and a TRK sweep. TRK advances to the final 4 in Salt Mine Stage 2.